Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going back down to Australia and New Zealand. I'm receiving more and more photographs from New Zealand of this wildfire smoke traveling 1,300 miles from southeastern Australia all the way over to New Zealand, making the skies look very eerie and eerie orange. It almost looks like the wildfires are in New Zealand. Where we're at right now is nullschool.net. The dark purple you see here on the map is a carbon monoxide reading coming from southern Australia between Canberra and Melbourne down here in Victoria. That reading is coming out of a very dense forest known as the Australian Alps. And there is a ton of fuel in here to keep these wildfires going. And not only that, it's in a mountainous region, which makes it next to impossible to get in there and manage if you're a firefighter. They can only tackle that by air for the most part. So that's where it's at right now, or at least a large portion of these wildfires are. There's dozens, actually into the hundreds, but that's where the highest concentrations of carbon monoxide are coming from right now, as you can see here from nullschool.net. That's over 5,600 parts per billion coming out of that area that extends over 100 miles wide. And that's making the air quality in this entire region so bad that Canberra shuts completely down today as smoke smothers the city. Article dated January 5th. 2020. The smoke and air quality is so bad they're just recommending that people stay indoors. They don't even want people going outside. Photos here of an orange yellow sky, and that's over in Australia, which I did get a photograph here from Australia sent in by Jane. Very dark orange, ominous looking sky out of New South Wales, Bega, Australia. Look at that, just unbelievable. Here's the photos I received from 1,300 miles away, Auckland, New Zealand. Photos sent in by Paul R. This was dated yesterday, January the 5th. Once again, looks like the wildfires are burning in New Zealand. Donna H., also from Auckland, New Zealand. Dark orange, dark yellow skies. Looks like the wildfires are over there. Marshall from New Zealand. I'm not sure if this is the North or the South Island, but if you look at that and you didn't know where the photo was from, you would think that was from near the wildfires in Australia. Just incredible, unprecedented event right now going on down in Australia, affecting another country 1,300 miles away. More articles here that you can find linked below. Here's a satellite image of the smoke reaching the North Island all the way from Australia. There's webcams here that I'll post in the description box down below from New Zealand. As you can see, the wildfire smoke making its way over. Even today, the sun just came up in Australia just a few minutes ago. A couple of hours ago, the sun came up in New Zealand, and you can see here at Zoom Earth, there's a huge cloud of smoke just north of the North Island and a little bit down between the North and South Islands right now as I do this video. But more smoke is making its way across the Tasman Sea, extending 1,300 miles. Something else of interest in the northern hemisphere, not something that's necessarily uncommon, but you can see on Zoom Earth a dust storm in action coming off of the west coast of the Sahara Desert in northern Africa. Very thick dust storm that extends out over 100 miles off of the coast in a lateral direction, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 miles to the north and south. Just an incredible dust storm now taking place in the northern hemisphere, and we have what looks like a dust storm down in the southern hemisphere, but it's smoke. A lot going on right now around planet Earth. There's also a large swarm of earthquakes that we've been keeping an eye on in southwestern Puerto Rico, just offshore. Some of my apps are telling me that these are surface earthquakes. Here at the USGS, they're showing they're anywhere from 4 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers deep. Either way, there's hundreds upon hundreds of earthquakes just in the last 7 days right here in the same general area. I've looked around. I don't see anything obvious like a underwater volcano, at least from the maps that I've looked at. There very well could be, but either way, there is a lot of movement right now going on off of the southwestern coast of Puerto Rico, and we are keeping a very close close eye on that as well. I've also got some footage from Zoom Earth from overnight last night of the wildfires on satellite, and you can see these bright red areas in that same location from Null School where the carbon monoxide levels were off the charts, and right there's why. Those fires are in that very dense forest, and you can see there's a glow even at night visible from space. Look at that. Just incredible. Like I said earlier, an unprecedented event right now underway down in Australia. Even though there is a chance of rain coming up in the next few days, I don't know how much that's going to help, but it certainly can't hurt. Here's a new sky phenomena picture slideshow I put together from Lena, Norway, Alberto, of some spectacular colored clouds. I think we call these polar stratospheric clouds. There's another name for them. They call them up north. You don't normally see these outside of the Arctic Circle. These are spectacular clouds. Once again, coming out of Norway, that's up by Oslo. Connie R. from White Mountains. This is a storm system from a few months ago that brought a big hailstorm in the area. Another big bright orange cloud in the sky. Here's a full view of the photograph that Connie shared with me. Also a beautiful rainbow. This one here was very low to the ground. Look at that. Very colorful. And then there was another one that was very high up in the sky with regards to the other one that was very low. Just a beautiful photograph. Jeremy O. from Red Mountain Park, Arizona. This photo here is unedited. That is exactly the way I received it, and he said he didn't adjust it either. About as pink of a sunset as you can get. Southeastern Nebraska, Vanessa W. noticed one of those very long clouds in the sky that looked like a blanket. We just saw one up in Toronto. This was viewed from Nebraska as far as she could see in both directions. Roxana from Romania. A unbelievable cloud up in the sky high above Romania. Looked like a massive mothership hovering up above the clouds. And yet another spectacular cloud from Romania sent in by Roxana. Beautiful photographs. Keep them coming, guys. Barbessi, not exactly sure of the location here, but some very low riding storm clouds. Here we have what look like gravity waves up in the sky. Cornrow looking clouds. Barbessi once again. Just some unusual looking clouds that were very low in the sky. Almost looked like you could reach up and touch them. Gidget A out of Oklahoma City. Unedited. Bright purple sky. Athens, Georgia. A third of some unusual clouds high in the sky above the state of Georgia. This one here looks like it's got some sort of a round feature in it. Bolton, United Kingdom. Karen, what looks like some sort of a square up in the clouds. You don't see that very often, but when you do, it's kind of hard to miss. You don't normally see squares hanging around up in the sky. Renee H. from Southern California. Bright yellow sunset. Sean T. noticed these very dramatic lines in the sky on satellite. These weren't taken from the ground. These were taken from up above Earth. That almost looks like some sort of a violin or guitar strings or piano strings. Look at that. Just incredible. That was a really good observation by Sean T. And I'm not exactly sure where this is at. Those almost look like roll clouds. Look at that. Unbelievable. Good observation, Sean. Thanks for sharing. Hewitt, Texas. A Baker. A couple of holes in the sky. Just perfect holes up there all by themselves. Out of Hewitt, Texas. Oxnard, California. This is looking out off the coast. Verna. And another beautiful orange sky at sunset. Corona, California. Lexi, that's the sun going down below the horizon, and an airplane going in front of the sun. Windy out of Louisiana. Spectacular orange sky, and also out of Louisiana from Windy, noticed a bright red rainbow. Get a load of that. Awesome. You guys are wide awake and on the ball. Another photo out of Lena, Norway. That's not too far from Oslo, of those very spectacular, colorful clouds up in the sky. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery. Sometimes I use the photo in a picture slideshow, just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.